What's up, guys? I hope y'all are having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude, because if you're looking for that, you're not going to find any of that in this particular video, because we are going to be talking about the literal shit stain of the Pokemon video game franchise, and that, of course, is none other than Pokémon Legends ZA.
Yeah, she's a gamer just like you and me, guys.
Now, I do feel like the name ZA is very well used here because it feels like the franchise is going backwards with this entry, and in a big way, man. It takes all of the major problems of modern Pokemon games and amplifies them to the nth degree, and genuinely provides one of the most lackluster, downright frustrating, and boring gameplay experiences that I have ever experienced playing this franchise, and I think its most defining quality perfectly sums up the exact takeaway that you're going to walk away with after playing Pokemon ZA for any extended period of time. You're going to be walking away from this game saying that it is straight What we have here is the culmination of the modern video game problem. You have a long-running, beloved franchise from a large studio that runs the most profitable media franchise in all of human history, and instead of producing a game that honors the history and pedigree of the franchise and improves upon all of the games that came before, what we have here is another example of a modern video game being the absolute worst entry in the series that I personally have ever played. Game Freak has officially jumped the shark on creating literal fucking mobile tier shovelware in the place of a mainline spin-off title. Now, I know this is not technically a mainline entry in the series, but it is developed by Game Freak, so it's a little harder to say, like, oh, it's just a third-party developer, they obviously didn't know what they're doing. No, this is the studio that is supposed to be managing the future of the Pokemon IP, and if Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet were any indication of which direction this franchise was going, Pokemon Legends ZA is definitely that end state, because what we have here is one of the biggest just vats of liquid sewage I think I've ever had the displeasure of loading onto one of my gaming platforms. And honestly, just to say this up front, if you couldn't tell, do not buy this fucking game. Do not spend $20 on this game. Do not spend $10 on this game. I wouldn't even play this shit if you can pirate it at this point. This game is literal fucking dog shit, and your time is better spent doing literally anything other than playing this piece of shit game, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure what everybody was hoping for in the new Pokemon game was for it to become a literal fucking Souls-like. This is how creatively bankrupt Game Freak has become. I was already a hater of Legends Arceus back in the day, which I kind of got some shit for, because I know a lot of people do hold that game in somewhat decent regard, but I could see the writing on the wall in which direction this was gonna go, and Legends ZA is a literal downgrade from that game model in every single way imaginable, and I guarantee you the genius minds at Game Freak think it's somehow an improvement in every way possible, seeing as the major changes they made undermine the very foundation of the Pokemon gameplay formula. I don't even really know where to begin with this particular video. I really didn't even want to make it because it just genuinely makes me fucking mad talking about this particular game. But first off, I want to address the combat style of this game. It fucking sucks, man. It is jank. It is frustrating. It does not work as intended. Your Pokemon are constantly getting stuck on environmental elements. There are elevation differences that affect whether a move will hit sometimes versus one time versus every time. This is so bad. Okay, so that one hits. That one doesn't hit. Can't do that one. Genuinely terrible. Certain moves just don't fucking register even though they're at the set range of attack that your Pokemon auto goes to in order to be used. This game is fucking dog shit, man. It feels like mobile slop from a 3-person Chinese development studio and is a massive downgrade from every single other Pokemon battle system I have ever experienced personally. This is genuine fucking dog shit. And the way that the moves are set up with their recharge timer, it basically encourages you to completely ignore type advantage and just spam your moves as quickly as possible while you're waiting for the other moves to recharge. It takes away the very little strategy that was to be found in a Pokemon game and strips it down to the most literal brain-dead mobile tap-the-screen sloppa gameplay loop that you see on the lowest tier real-time mobile RPGs. This game is utter and complete dog shit. The battle system is downright frustrating. It doesn't work as intended. Like I mentioned, moves will just straight up not register at times. A perfect example is when I'm using my Gyarados and it uses Hydro Pump. I can probably count on one hand how many times that move has actually hit a Pokemon that is standing right in front of it perfectly still because it overshoots every single time, even though the Gyarados literally auto-adjusts its position to use the move. Same with my Meganium using Razor Leaf or other moves like that. It moves away to a distance, and then all of a sudden, it's out of the hitbox of the move, even though the Meganium moved and the enemy Pokemon did not. This game is just fundamentally broken, and I know a lot of people are comparing this shit to Pal World, and luckily it's not as bad as the combat in Pal World, but it's pretty damn close, man. And for a company that literally pioneered the turn-based RPG Lite for children, I don't understand why the fuck they are devolving the gameplay in such a substantial way to turn it into this buggy, broken, janky slop that you find on the lowest rated Indian-developed RPGs on the Google Play Store, dude. It is absolutely infuriating as a Pokemon game that this is the type of shit we can come to expect in the future, because I guarantee you this type of gameplay is probably here to stay. They already made the games piss fucking easy in the last few entries, and this makes it even more fucking brain dead for even the biggest mouth drooler to pick up and play. So I guarantee you some form of this combat style will be in Generation 10, and it will be even worse somehow, which seems to be the only direction Game Freak knows how to take their games, is down fucking hill. So that is my first gripe, is the combat style of this game sucks. And that's not even to mention the mega battles in this game, which is the Soul Sloppa experience. I guess like every other AAA developer in this godforsaken industry, Game Freak also wants to hop on the Souls clone formula and decided to implement dodge rolling into Pokémon Legends ZA in these massive mega battles where for 5 to 10 minutes you are having to dodge roll around a mega Pokemon that is attacking you, not your actual Pokemon. And if it hits you, I think 3 to 4 times, you die and you have to restart the entire encounter over again. Again, I don't know who the fuck was asking for a Souls-like Pokemon game, but holy fuck do I not want one. This is basically equivalent if you were playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and instead of being able to slow down time and input the commands for your companion characters in the battles, you would have to do that in real time while dodging autistically while a Pokemon AoE spams you, and 3 hits and you're dead. It absolutely fucking sucks. And that doesn't even bring in the problem of the camera, which I forgot to mention in the previous section. When you're playing this game, you have to hold down ZL the entire time during combat in order to stay locked onto a Pokemon in order to use the input commands. And just like the actual combat itself, this mechanic is incredibly fucking jank. It does not work as intended. It does not automatically lock on to the nearest Pokemon. And in fact, you will drop your lock on for random fucking reasons. It won't detect the Pokemon that you're literally staring right at in front of you. And if you, God forbid, have to change targets, it is literally fucking impossible, dude. I genuinely don't fucking understand what they were thinking with this lock-on system. Why is it not just a toggle lock-on? Like, you click the stick, it locks onto the Pokemon, and until you tap that fucking stick, it doesn't unlock. But the game is fundamentally dog shit, is basically the point I'm trying to get around. Nothing about this combat system feels good. Most combat encounters just evolve into you missing 50% of your moves, spamming every single move as the recharge finishes, and then just spamming healing items in your inventory when you're actually able to do so. Now, another gripe I do have is whenever a new Pokemon is thrown out onto the field, your opponent basically gets a one-hit advantage on you every single time because the lock-on system is so fundamentally broken, because it's so fucking obnoxiously difficult in order to get the camera to lock onto the Pokemon you want to attack. A lot of times you'll find yourself in a situation where your opponent can attack sometimes twice before you're even able to lock on and then input an attack to start attacking that Pokemon that was thrown out onto the field. If anything, you should be given an advantage when you knock out an enemy Pokemon. You're not able to open your inventory and use a healing item. You're not able to swap out a Pokemon in any real speed that would actually provide you an advantage whatsoever. It doesn't give you an indicator of what Pokemon is about to be thrown out. It's a joke, man. Honestly, this combat system is a cheap Xenoblade knockoff, but even then I feel bad for insulting Xenoblade in that manner. I think a mobile game is the perfect summary of what this game feels like. It feels like one of those cheap Indian or Chinese mobile slop titles that has like a 2.5 rating on the Google Play Store. It is absolute and utter dog shit, man. This being a $70 game from Game Freak, the company that made Pokemon, that makes hundreds of billions of dollars at this point off this fucking IP. The fact that this is the state of the game we're getting is just downright unfucking acceptable, man. And as a Pokemon fan who has literal 6 figures worth of Pokemon cards, this shit fucking pains me. Now, when it comes to the core gameplay loop of this game, there are no gym challenges in the traditional sense. Instead, you have to level up your character from rank Z to A, essentially by completing this obnoxiously repetitive nighttime trainer battle area, which basically is this little red zone on the map that you can go into, and there's a bunch of random trainers roaming the place. And this is where they introduce the stealth mechanics into the game, where if you sneak up on a trainer, you can get the first strike in, essentially as like a stealth bonus, and if they detect you, then it's the same thing. But it is so painfully bad, man. The stealth mechanics, just like everything else gameplay related in Pokémon Legends ZA, is just horrific. It sucks, bro. I hate these segments. They feel like massive fucking grinds, and you essentially just have to chip away at this total ticket total in order to basically progress to the next exhibition match, in order to rank up your trainer ranking or whatever the fuck it's called. Honestly, I couldn't be bothered to care at this point, but essentially you'll walk around these zones. There are little cards scattered around that give you these various challenges that give you bonus tickets upon completing them. However, most of the time you'll end up getting a bunch of ones that don't correspond to any of the Pokemon you have in your party, or stuff that's completely unattainable in the very limited time that you have to engage in these battles. So while some of them can offer a nice bonus, it's easier said than done in a lot of cases. And by the time you're rank C, which is what I got to before I had to stop playing for my own sanity, it's just so repetitive, man. It starts out you need like 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, and then jumps all the way up to 40 fucking thousand. You need 40,000 of these tickets, and you get 1,400 for beating a singular trainer. You can do the math on that one. Now, granted, the challenges do give you anywhere from 2 to 20,000, depending on which ones you're able to find and then complete in the limited time that you're given, but more often than not, it comes down to pure brute forcing through those trainer battles and just encountering as many of them as you possibly can before the night cycle ends, and hoping that you have just enough tickets in order to progress so you don't have to keep beating your fucking head against a wall doing this repetitive ass combat. And that is basically the cycle. You will go through, get these tickets, go and find the next trainer you're supposed to battle, but oh no, you can't battle them yet. You have to go do a bunch of shitty side quests in order to actually unlock the ability to actually fight that said trainer, and it is rinse and repeat, man. The story to this game is also incredibly fucking retarded. You literally have this dog version of Zygarde with a glowing green asshole. And you thought I was kidding, but yeah, essentially there are these mega evolutions happening all around the city. Pokemon are pouring in, and they're having to set up these migrant zones. Pokemon wild zones in order to maintain these invading species into Paris, aka Lumino City. And basically your goal throughout this game is to rank up your trainer level and at the same time take down these mega evolution Pokemon that are wreaking havoc through the city, essentially, and, you know, contain them to the wild zones within Lumino City. And, well, these are absolutely fucking terrible, and these are the Dark Souls-like boss battles that I mentioned. Now, you will have to do 3 of these before you do every single gym challenge equivalent in order to rank up your Pokemon trainer level, and they absolutely suck, man. It's like 30 minutes of pure fucking torture. I have not enjoyed a singular one of them, and I genuinely dread whenever they pop up on my map because it means I am in for a downright miserable time. Now, the story is pretty just stupid and bare bones. Like, it really is just super basic. There's not much going on here. There's not really any interesting characters outside of Emma and Tawny for various reasons that I'm sure you can probably figure out if you've been on the internet seeing any discussions surrounding this game whatsoever. But yeah, it's incredibly lackluster. I mean, X and Y I don't really think had that great of a story, but compared to this, even that looks good, which is really saying something, man. This is just one of those cases where I really don't think there's anything redeeming here in the absolute slightest. I just genuinely do not play this game. Don't even pirate it, guys. Like, I genuinely do not think it's worth your time. Like, even for free, I wouldn't want to play this shit. I would feel ripped off if I even wasted time downloading this shit on my internet bandwidth. That is how bad Legends ZA is. And honestly, this might be my #1 spot for the worst game of 2025. I genuinely fucking hate this game. I think Game Freak should be absolutely ashamed of whatever this dog shit is that they shoveled out and put on a fucking plate. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Do not buy this utter dog shit. You will be better off playing literally any other Pokemon game on the Switch. Go play Pokemon Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, because even though I have my problems with those remakes, those games are masterpieces compared to this fucking shit. Even the Switch 2 version of Scarlet and Violet is better than this game, and I hated Scarlet and Violet. So we're at a point now where the Pokemon IP is in dangerous risk of being completely eroded. The Pokemon cards are basically propping up this franchise right now, and Game Freak either needs to get their shit together and stop focusing on their upcoming shitty Souls-like clone and instead focus on the IP that literally made them in the first place, or pass it off to somebody who actually fucking cares. Imagine the team who made Octopath Traveler or the Dragon Age 1 and 2 and 3 remasters at Square Enix working on a traditional style 2D Pokemon game. That shit would be fucking awesome, and I guarantee you it'd be a hell of a lot better than whatever the fuck this dog shit was. It is downright painful. Again, as someone who is heavily invested in the Pokemon IP, literally mentally and financially, I have over 6 figures of graded Pokemon cards in my personal collection. I love this franchise. I love Pokemon. I love what this game used to be. And to see it in its current state, from I think Black and White onward, has just been an absolute catastrophe, man. It has been one consistent death spiral, with each subsequent game from Game Freak getting worse and worse and worse. And I honestly don't know if we've reached rock bottom yet, because just when you think Game Freak can't stoop any lower, they somehow manage to exceed expectations in only that one particular aspect. So never bet against the destructive nature of Game Freak when it comes to the Pokemon IP. But if I had to give this game a rating, I'm giving this a 1 out of 10, man. This is something I wouldn't even put on my cell phone. That's how bad this game is. It feels like literal mobile slop, and I would not even put this shit on my phone if I had the opportunity to do so for free 99. So do not buy this game. Do not support this game. Do not shill for this game. If you are a Pokemon fan, you should be actively speaking out against this absolute travesty of how they have just mutilated this franchise and turned it into this utter and complete dog shit. But anyway, guys, that is gonna do it for this video. You know, rant over. I had like a whole checklist of different topics I wanted to talk about, but fuck it, man. I just got on a roll here. Like, I wanted to rant. This shit genuinely pissed me off, and as a fan of the franchise, I think it should piss everybody off. The type of shit the Game Freak is pulling right now is downright unacceptable, and it's not gonna get any better if things continue the way that they are. And I hope this game bombs, genuinely. I hope it sells way under what they were hoping for. Unfortunately, it's still gonna probably sell fairly well because of the holiday season, people seeing the Pokemon name on it, and also with how popular Pokemon cards are at the moment. That will naturally funnel in some people who otherwise would not have purchased the game to actually go out and buy the game. But yeah, I don't really think there's anything else to say, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this game in the comments section below. You know, rant over. Hopefully I don't have to fucking play another Pokemon game this terrible. I don't even know if I want to beat this, bro. Like, every Pokemon game I have actually beat, and this might be the first one that I just don't even bother with. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'll finish it on stream to torture myself. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on Pokémon Legends ZA in the comment section below. Have you played it? Have you skipped it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Always interested to hear your take on whatever game it is we're talking about on the channel today. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on it. It does go a long way in helping out my irrelevant-ass channel, and it is much appreciated. So with that shit said, guys, I do want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video and for all the recent support as well. You guys are the fucking best, and I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time.
Yeah, she's a gamer just like you and me, guys.